In this video we will cover the Fusion safety features, powering on the machine, starting the software, adding garnet, blade touch off for length, loading a program, program shift, block assist, blade load control, miter load control, slab loader control, arbor VFD control, program controls, blade change, powering off the machine, blade to nozzle calibration. The Fusion has 3 emergency stop buttons, one on the console, one on the pendant, and one on the safety pull cord. When pushed in, system control software is disabled, and the current cut operation is stopped. Motion on all axes is disabled, and an alarm is generated. When the pull cord is tripped, there is a reset switch located at the front of the machine where the pull cord attaches. To reset the switch, turn the blue lever to the ready position. Maintenance switch. The purpose of this switch is to allow trained personnel to perform maintenance work inside the safety stop pull cord area when the system is on. The switch has 2 positions. Off, tripping the pull cord switch generates an alarm. Bypass, tripping the pull cord switch does not generate an alarm. When the switch is in bypass mode, the machine can still be used to run production programs. Check the machine visually. Verify everything looks normal, and there are no exposed wires, or open panels. Check to ensure there is nothing leaning against, or resting on the rails. If everything looks satisfactory, turn on the power at the main circuit breaker and the intensifier cabinet. Verify side water and air control valves are open. To start the machine software, select the Park Industries icon on the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. The software will begin to load. It might take a few minutes for the console to connect with the machine. Make sure to do the required maintenance before operating the machine. When the maintenance required message appears, the operator has 2 options: perform maintenance and press acknowledge, or press remind me later. When the acknowledge button is pressed, the software must determine who pressed the button. This is accomplished by displaying a numeric keypad. The operator selects his or her name from a pull-down menu, and then enters their assigned password. Pressing the Remind Me Later button allows the operator to delay the maintenance for 24 hours, at which time the maintenance required dialog box appears again. On the second appearance, this button is removed. Pressing the Help button on the maintenance required screen opens an Adobe PDF file, which contains links to the maintenance tasks. Once the maintenance is acknowledged, the Fusion main screen will open. Turn the system on by pressing the System button. System is on when the light is green. Wear safety glasses and earplugs during this entire procedure, and ensure the ball is down before adding garnet. Remove the top cover. Loosen the ball handle. Do not remove at this time. Turn the 3-way valve to the off position. This discharges pressure from the hopper. Open the valve slowly to avoid extreme noise. Verify the ball handle has dropped. The black knob should be flush with the top of the screen. If not, try pushing down by hand, or use a dead blow hammer. Add garnet to the hopper. Make sure that the screen is in place. This prevents unwanted debris from entering the hopper. Remove the ball handle, remove the screen, and place the 3-legged pop valve assembly on top of the tank standoffs. Push all garnet into the hopper. Replace the screen, and thread the ball handle onto the bolt. The ball handle does not have to be tight at this time. Turn the 3-way valve to open position while pulling up on the pop-up valve ball handle. Tighten the ball handle and replace the top cover. To use the pendant, the side button must be depressed. If pushed in too far, the machine will be disabled. Only press the button in until you feel it stop. If the button clicks, it's pushed in too far. Once the button is pressed in, the pendant becomes active. The X, Y, and Z axes are marked. 4 is the C axis, and 5 is the A axis. You can move the machine on the axis selected, by turning the dial on the pendant clockwise for the positive direction, and counterclockwise for the negative direction. The F1, F2, and F3 buttons are speed selection buttons. F1 is 1/1000th of an inch, F2 is 10/1000th of an inch, and F3, 1/10th of an inch. The machine will move the F distance that is selected for each segment when turning the dial. To change F speeds, the side button must be depressed. This procedure is done once or twice per shift, if using the same blade. This procedure should also be done, after every blade change. Using the pendant, bring the blade over an open portion of the table, and then lower the blade to about 1/4 of an inch above the table. Use the following steps to open the setup screen. From the main menu, press the setup button. On the setup screen, press the machine setup button. Locate the blade setup area, located in the lower left corner of the screen. Using the pendant and a combination of F2 and F1 speeds, lower the blade until it touches the top of the table. Press the capture table button. Make sure to enter the correct blade curve if needed. From the main screen, select the Run Screen button. To load the G-code without a job sheet, select the Load G-code button. A window will open that contains a list of the G-codes sent to the machine. Select the desired program, select the OK button, and the code will load for the desired job. Press the Scan G-code button. A window will open. Scan the barcode on the job sheet, and the file name will appear in the window. Scan the barcode again to verify that it is the correct file. The G-code for the selected job will load. Program Shift allows the operator to shift the program in the X-axis, Y-axis, or both. To shift a program, select the Part G-code button, and then select Program Shift. The Program Shift window will open. Enter the appropriate distance values in the X and or Y fields. Select OK. The entire program will shift by the distance values entered. A Program Shift enabled warning will be located at the top right of the display screen. A program shift can also be done by using the Waterjet nozzle to mark the 00 point of the program. Make sure the cutting head assembly is raised all the way up on the Z-axis. Press the nozzle down button. Position the nozzle to the desired 00 location. Select the Capture Point button, and then select the OK button. Block Assist allows the operator to restart a program. To restart the program from the last completed cut, select the Part G-code tab button on the Run screen. Then select Block Assist. A window will open containing all G-code blocks for the program. As each block is selected, the cut will be highlighted in the window on the left. Find the appropriate cut and press select. You will be prompted to press cycle start. Once the machine has repositioned, you will be prompted to press cycle start to begin the program from the selected block. Blade load control and miter load control are either active or off. If active, the button will turn yellow and show active. When selecting the blade load control button, the parameter fields for straight blade cuts will open. Load control, also called amp control, is designed to change axis feed rates to maintain a set arbor motor amperage. When on, the G-code program controls feed rate until the installed load amperage is reached, and then the load control controls the axis feed rate during the cut operation. When off, the G-code programmed value controls the axis feed rate during the cut operation. Set point. The arbor motor amperage that the load control program wants to maintain during an axis movement while the blade is cutting. Install load. The arbor motor amperage level that the load control program looks for to know that the blade is in the material cutting. Once this amperage is reached, the load control program is activated and now controls blade feed rate. Minimum. The slowest axis feed rate the blade is allowed to travel. Maximum. The fastest axis feed rate the blade is allowed to travel. The height sensor button enables or disables the height sensor while making non-mitered cuts with the nozzle. When active, the Fusion will check the height at the beginning of the cut and adjust the height of the water jet. When off, the Fusion will make straight cuts without any adjustment. When selecting the miter load control button, the parameters for miter cuts will open. The load control parameters function the same way as the parameters for straight blade cuts. The load set point, install load, minimum, and maximum fields are also the same, however, they are generally set to smaller feed rate values for miters. The miter height sensor button enables or disables the height sensor while making mitered blade cuts. When active, the Fusion will check the height at the beginning of the miter cut and at the end of the miter cut, and adjust the Z height for thickness. When off, the Fusion will make regular miter cuts without any adjustment. The VFD control button is available only on machines that are equipped with a variable frequency drive motor. Selecting the VFD control button allows the operator to manually override the programmed blade RPM. Selecting the down button lowers the RPM, selecting the up button will raise the RPM by a feed rate percentage. The programmed blade feed rate can be manually increased or decreased by using the feed override bar. Selecting the arrow buttons will either increase or decrease the blade feed rate by 1% of the programmed feed rate. Selecting the open areas on either side of the slide bar will increase or decrease the feed rate by 10% of the programmed feed rate. The slide bar can be selected with a long press and moved left or right to change the feed rate by larger amounts. On models with a slab loader table, the controls to raise and lower the table are located by selecting the slab loader control button. From the main screen, select the Run Screen button. On the Run screen, select the Slab Loader Control button. Make sure the machine is in the parked position. If not, select the Park Machine button. An error message will be triggered if the machine is not parked. Select the Start button to start the hydraulic pump. Select the Up button to raise the table. Once the table is in the fully raised position, it will stop. To lower the table, start the pump, and select the down button. The table will stop when it is in the down position. Select stop to turn off the pump. These 4 buttons are used to control the G-code program execution on the Fusion. The most common method to process a job is to let the Fusion's controller automatically process each G-code program line until the entire job is complete. Once the G-code program has been loaded, the operator simply has to select the cycle start button to start the program. The machine will automatically raise the blade if it is down, and position itself to make the first cut. To pause the G-code program once the program is running, select the feed hold button. To start the program again, select cycle start. If a program is to be stopped permanently, select the cycle stop button. The block assist feature must be used to restart the program. When selecting single block, the button's background turns green to indicate it is active. The machine executes one line of code, and then pauses motion, until the operator selects the cycle start button to execute the next line of code. If an alarm stops the machine for any reason, correct the alarm issue and then select the reset alarm button. Wait 30 seconds before turning the system back on. This allows the machine time to reset the front-end software. If you do not wait 30 seconds before turning the system back on, the machine will have to be powered off, and powered back on again. Use the pendant to center the bridge over the table. Rotate the C-axis so the blade is parallel with the tank's edge. Use the pendant to move the cross-travel assembly on the Y-axis and position the blade at the edge of the table. Engage one of the emergency stop buttons for safety while changing the blade. Remove the 3 plastic thumb screws holding the blade shroud cover to the shroud. Using a steel brush, remove all garnet and debris buildup from the arbor shaft threads. Using the wrench and a dead blow hammer, loosen the arbor nut, then remove the nut. Remember, the arbor nut is reverse threaded. Remove the outer drive flange from the arbor shaft and set aside. Carefully remove the blade, taking special note of whether there is a spacer ring between the blade and the arbor. If a spacer ring is present, remove it, but do not discard. Using an abrasive pad, clean the inner and outer arbor flange. Make sure to clean both sides of the blade if you are installing a used one, or reinstalling the same blade. If the replacement blade requires a spacer ring, slide the ring on the arbor shaft. Install the blade, outer flange, and arbor nut. Hand tighten the arbor nut. Using the supplied wrench, hand tighten the arbor nut. Remember, the arbor nut is reverse threaded. Position the wrench so that it is resting on the tank's frame as shown. Insert the 14 mm hex socket into the arbor shaft. Gently tap the socket to ensure the socket is seated in the arbor shaft. Attach the torque wrench and tighten the arbor nut to 160 foot-pounds. At the end of the day, or when the Fusion is not in use for an extended period of time, the machine can be powered down. Except for consuming energy, there is no problem keeping the machine on when not in use. Press the emergency stop button. The system on indicator will go out. Select the exit button. Select yes to verify you are closing the software. The software automatically shuts down all running programs. When done, the computer returns to the Windows desktop. Select the Windows icon on the bottom left corner. Select Shutdown. Check the computer screen. When the entire screen is black, switch power to off at the Fusion S main disconnect on the intensifier cabinet. Shut the power off at the site's main circuit breaker. Make sure the water and air are also shut off.